Greetings and salutations, comic book conversationalists from all over the place. It is Comic Book Hangover. It is time once again for another Weekly Haul, Weekly Review video. I do this every week here, and once in a while when I'm able to, I'll do something a little different. I do have some Ghost Rider videos that I'm going to be working on soon, and we'll have those up and live as soon as I get those done. But let's just jump straight into the books that I picked up last week. There was quite a few of them. I was finally able to read them all. There's quite a few of them that I do want to talk about that I picked up last week, and I do have a small stack of books that I got this week as well. So let's start off with final issues. So this week the final issue is Elvira meets Vincent Price number 5. It does wrap up the adventures of Elvira and Vincent Price as they, solve mysteries and whatnot, a la Scooby-Doo. It's a lot of fun. Clearly, the person writing this, hold on one second here. I want to get this individual's name here. David Avallone. David Avallone is the writer for this, and clearly this David individual is a huge Vincent Price fan. You could tell it because the way he writes Price's dialogue, it is spot on. You can literally hear Price's voice and the way he enunciated words and his inflections. You get all that in the dialogue. It's great. It's well done. There's some wonderful, fourth wall, self-referential stuff in here. I always enjoy that with Elvira books. But this does also set up the next storyline, the next event for Elvira, and that is going to be a mini-series called Elvira in Horrorland, where she goes through various horror movies, classic. The first one is going to be an Alfred Hitchcock movie. She's going to be in black and white. It's going to be awesome. But fans of Elvira, she's going to be in the new Munsters movie. Cassandra Peterson is. It's great time to be an Elvira fan. This is an amazing book. I would definitely recommend it. Elvira meets Vincent Price. These next two, I can kind of talk about these together. This is King Jara, Hungry Like a Monster from Scout Comics, and from Image, Step by Bloody Step. Now, Step by Bloody Step, this is I don't know if it's an ongoing or a mini-series, but we are getting a second issue for this. The King Jara is a one-shot. Now, what makes these things similar is, they're both really thick. They both deal with this is a giant robot and a girl. This is a giant monster, sort of like Godzilla. But what makes them both unique is there's no dialogue in either one of these books. In King Jara, it's just sort of another attack of King Jara on whatever city he's in. Here's some of the interior art. You get a typical Godzilla sort of attacking the city type thing, and you have the people who are trying to stop him, the military person who's trying to stop him and destroy him, and you've got the scientist who's like, we got to understand this. But what's cool is since there's no dialogue when the characters speak, there's just there's pictures and they're word balloons, so you get an idea of what their conversation's about. So it's very imaginative, very well done. It's a lot of fun if you're a fan of Godzilla books and giant monster books, and you want something that's just a little fun, a little different with some very unique art style. This is definitely one you want to check out. Again, it is a one shot, but there is a possibility that they could do more. They definitely leave it open for more, but if they just do the one, it's fine. It's, signed, sealed, delivered. You got a complete full story, begin, middle, and end, and that's pretty much all we can ask for. The other one here, but Step by Bloody Step, I got to admit, the artwork in this, there's some amazing artwork. Here's just a random page. There's some amazing artwork in this book, and that cannot be denied at all, okay? The problem that I had with this one is, and I think it's because there was no dialogue in it, there are some pages where it is hard to follow what is going on, because we're new in this universe, we're new to these characters. It's hard to discern certain panels as to what's going on. But that aside, it does work for what it is. It does work really well. It works good as a first issue, so it's sort of like your setup for what's coming. It works great for that. So, there's the possibility you can go back and look at this again and say, okay, now this makes sense. But both of those books were a lot of fun. The Step by Bloody Step, like I said, it's a little bit more involved. The King Jar is just a fun sort of one and done deal. Giant monster attacking a city and then being defeated. Step by Bloody Step, it is setting up more. I don't know if the whole series is going to be done sort of in the Enough Said style. I don't know. I'm probably not going to pick up the second issue. The first issue was interesting, was fun, unique, great art, but really nothing there that piqued my interest enough to want to stick with it. Speaking of not piquing my interest and not wanting to stick with it, Gwenverse, Spider-Gwen, Gwenverse #1. I think it's a 5-issue event series. I don't know what's going on with this. We get a bunch of characters that just kind of pop up. Honestly, it's a mess. The art's great. I love the art, but the story is an absolute mess. I mean, I had a hard time sticking with it, because it would jump from place to place, and we got these new characters that have, the dumbest names ever, and it's been a while since I've read a Spider-Gwen comic, so I don't know if in her universe everybody knows that she's Spider-Woman, or Ghost Spider, whatever. I hate the name Ghost Spider, so I'm just going to call her Spider-Woman because that's what she originally was. But it's this book, I mean, if you read it, if you're out there and you read it and you enjoyed it, great, kudos, awesome, more power to you. I had a hard time with it. I won't be picking up any more of it. It's just, I don't know, it was just a mess. I mean, I really can't even tell you too much about what the story was about because it was just, to me, it was here, then it was here, then it was here, then it was here, and we're just going to move on to something else. From Image, Radiant Red, further expansion of the Radiant Black universe. This focuses on Radiant Red, obviously. And when she was introduced in the book, we knew her as an English teacher. I believe she was. She was a teacher who robbed banks to make money and make ends meet. So this that's your launching point. That's where this story focuses on. So her adventures in the Radiant Black regular book aren't really referenced here, so you can get this and get it on the ground level. The problem with this one is, again, it's the same thing that happened with that Spider-Gwen book, is we're jumping from time to time, and there's really nothing there. They don't give us any indication. I mean, it starts off 2 months ago, 2 years ago, something like that, 2 months ago. And then I'm assuming it moves to a modern time or moves forward, something like that. And then it moves forward again. There's one panel that says, next year. So maybe it moves forward a year as the story continues. But the biggest problem, the biggest stumbling point for this book was it doesn't really give you a good idea of where you're at in the timeline. Okay. But besides that, it's nice seeing some expansion on some of these Radiant characters. So we've got Rogue Sun, we've got Radiant Black, we've got Radiant Red. I don't know if anybody else is going to be getting in kind of one shot or whatnot. I know there's an Image book coming out, something that Radiant Black fans might want to be aware of. There is an Image book coming out. It's the first issue of the 12-issue maxi series. I think it's out. It's either April or May, but the first issue is going to have a Radiant Black story in it. It is an anthology, so it's to be all kinds of characters, all kinds of stories from all kinds of different books in it. One of them is going to be from Radiant Black. But Radiant Red #1 is a 5-issue miniseries. As I said, really the only thing that I had a hard time with that issue was where we're at in the timeline. But as far as the main character goes, I mean, we know the basics, and now we're getting expansion on who she is, what makes her tick. There's this dude that shows up out of nowhere, kind of has I don't know if I could find him. He kind of has a freaky look to him. He knows who she is. Yeah, this dude here. He knows who she is, and he knows what her powers are. He works for some people who want Radiant Red to work for them. So it's going to be interesting to see, because she ideally she's a good person. She's a real good person. She wants to do what's right. She was robbing the bank. She robbed the banks and whatnot because she needed money. So I mean, there was it's kind of an altruistic sort of thing going on there. But I mean, she didn't want to hurt anybody, but she needed the money. It's just some things going on in her life. But it's going to be fun to see where this character goes. Now, I don't know if she'll be graduating to her own ongoing or what. It's really interesting to see where all these different Radiant characters are going and how the how the expansion of the Radiant Black universe is, how they're going to handle all these new books and all these new characters. So it's fun. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Also from Image, finally coming out after about 3 months being delayed. Little Monsters #1. Again, I don't know if this is an ongoing or a miniseries because there's nothing that indicates it. There are multiple covers for this. This is the main cover. This is the one that I liked. Written by Jeff Lemire, art by Dustin. I'm going to say Nguyen. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I mean, it does have a good look to it. It's, as far as color goes, just like on the cover, you got very minimal colors. Reds show up and some yellows and oranges show up. It takes place in sort of a post-apocalyptic world, and we have a group of kids. They make comments where we know that they've been around for a long time, possibly hundreds of years. So they're not children mentally and through experience, but physically they do look like kids. They are actually, and you can kind of see very, very faintly a little bit of some fangage going on there. So they are vampires. They are immortal. Group of kids. Really, this first issue, if you pick this up, if you're going into it sort of blind, don't expect a whole lot as far as like action goes in this issue. This is the first issue. This is the sort of first issue, rather, where you are getting introduced to the characters, who they are, their personalities, their interactions, sort of the way their social structure works. So you're getting what you need in order for the story to hit the ground running with the second issue. So I will be checking out the second issue. I enjoyed the writing. Really, the only thing that bothered me was, I mean, they were kind of heavy-handed with. There is one character called Romy that they're trying to look for, and they don't know where he's at. And the whole thing is this sort of a personal nitpick of mine. This whole pronoun nonsense. They're probably doing their stupid drawings and lost track of time. Well, they better get back. I'll go look for them. I mean, it's just we need to stop with the pronoun stuff. But this. Personal nitpick, it's not a big deal. It's just something for mine. But Little Monsters, very well written, an interesting idea. I'm not going to say that they're vampires. They certainly come across as looking like vampires. They got the fangs. They're immortal. They seem to have an allergy to the sun. So everything that makes all the vampire categories have been ticked. But it's Jeff Lemire, and I'm hoping that if they are vampires, there's going to be something interesting to it. But I'm open to any and all expectations. But overall, like as I said, this book was delayed some time, but having read it, the art, the story, the characters, the concept definitely makes the wait worth it. And so this should still be available at your local comic shop. I would definitely recommend it. It was a lot of fun, very interesting, something different. As I've been, telling people on various social medias and people in my life that when people are getting the comics, they automatically want to go to Marvel or DC, and it's like, okay, you could do that, that's fine, but Image, Boom, Scout, Source Point Press, all these other publishers, there are dozens of publishers out there right now that are putting out some absolutely amazing, unique, different books that truly lives up to what I've always said, that no matter who you are, no matter what you're into, there is a comic book out there that will pique your interest. And more so today, I think more than ever, certainly in the time that I've been collecting comics since 1990, we have an amazing variety of comic books on the market today. So, I mean, we can go from Little Monsters to Mighty Morphin, number 17. I love this cover. All right, I absolutely love this cover. I think it's, the more I looked at it, it's like, okay, so we got the Pink Ranger, which is cool to have her front and center. It's nice to, that we're going to focus on some of the other Rangers, but we've also got the White Ranger, the former Green Ranger, and the new Green Ranger. Kimberly, has dated both of them, so it's kind of an interesting little love triangle cover there. So it's pretty cool. So this is your Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Earth-based Rangers team, as they sort of pick up the pieces after the Altarian War. So if you're wanting so we are sort of ground zero again. We're starting point again, figuring out where we're gonna go. Now they do introduce a new planet in here. It's a planet of water, which I believe has been in the show. Power Rangers from underwater. They talked with gurgly voices in the show. I don't know, they were only there for like a season. And there's what I thought at first was the Machine Empire, because they kind of look like the Machine Empire people, but they call them something different. So we're going to get something new, something different. Zed is still out there, but he's sort of being put on the back burner while we expand the story a little bit more. We're going to get new villains. We're getting a new command center. Probably going to get new Zords. I don't know, but Mighty Morphin still very fun. I cannot really say clearly how much I am enjoying the Power Rangers lines of books. And next week, I cannot wait. Next week, we're finally going to get the first issue, Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's the book that my little boy and I have been looking forward to for some time. So those are all the books that I picked up last week. And again, looking at the time, this is kind of extension. Sorry for talking about these books for so long. I have kind of realized that I speed through these. I try to keep these videos around 20 minutes long, but I don't get to talk about the books that much in detail if I speed through them. So from here on in, the videos might be a little bit longer. I don't know. We're going to see. We're trying a lot of different things with these videos and the thumbnails and trying different things to see what sticks and what makes these videos not only more entertaining for me to do, but entertaining for you guys and gals out there to watch. So that said, if you're enjoying what I'm doing, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button, share the videos. Let's move on to the books that I picked up this week. So this one is actually one I picked up because I missed this cover originally. This is the Frank Avila cover for Good Boy #3. Love this cover. Love this artist. He's an amazing artist. But that wraps that up. That series has been wrapped up for a little while. All right, so new books from this week from DC. Black Label, Joe Hill, Hill Comics, the imprint of DC Comics, Refrigerator Full of Heads, #5 of 6. Now, there were 2 covers for this. The other one actually had a shot from the inside of the refrigerator. You see the gal reaching in there and grabbing one of the heads. I liked that cover, but the colors on this cover grabbed my attention more than that one did. Plus, DC does a stupid thing where they charge $1 more for their variant covers. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me at all. Marvel doesn't do it, even with all the insanely stupid amount of variant covers that they do. They don't charge more for them. Retailers can, especially when you get to those ratio variants. Moving on to Image. And yeah, I'm going to try to maybe, when I do the new comics for these videos, do them by publisher as opposed to more random stuff. So Stillwater, The Escape. Now this is a one-shot that will take the place of I guess this month and next month's issue of Stillwater. We're going to be wrapping up the Stillwater saga. This gives us a little bit more information about the town and the people in it. So it is a double size. It's $4.99. It's a double size issue. It's a little bit thicker than our normal issue of Stillwater. But like I said, it does take the place of the regular issues. The next issue of Stillwater, issue 13, doesn't come out until May. Also finally from the last one, from Image, Silver Coin #10. I've enjoyed this anthology horror series. On this one, we're supposed to get more information on the cursed coin itself. Excuse me. Actually, got one more from Image. I'm sorry. Slumber #1. Just picked it up out of curiosity, and this is something that I have said. I haven't said this in a while, but when you go down to your LCS, you can always definitely pick up your regular books. And I don't care what they are, even if they're books. I mean, there's books that I love and there's books that I cannot stand. Like, Ms. Marvel, cannot stand that character, don't like her at all, want nothing to do with her. But if you are a reader of Ms. Marvel, by all means, go down to your LCS and you pick up those books of Ms. Marvel. But look around, check out some of the other books. There's always first issues coming out. There's first issues that cover the gamut of genres and gamut of things that may interest you. So that's why I pick up first issues of just random books sometimes. Just if the cover piques my interest, or the title is kind of interesting, I'll pick it up, check it out. If I don't like it, I move on to something else. If I do, then I'll have something like Stillwater or Silver Coin to check out each and every month. That's what we're doing with this Slumber. But some chick that fights nightmares or something. I don't know. I'm going to check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. So then these next books are going to be Black Caravan, and again, first issues. Something different, something unique. Rad Wraith, #1. Actually, just now noticing that this is a gatefold cover. Yeah, check that out. That's pretty awesome. So there is going to be an issue 2 for this. It's not a one-shot. They talk about the second issue in the back. So figured, you know what the heck? Why not? And then also from Black Caravan, first issue of Playthings. Because, again, you want to try something different. We got some, not to repeat what I've said with, the great books and great characters, but there's a lot of artists and writers out there who aren't working for Marvel or DC that are amazingly talented, that do some great stuff. Like, I haven't even looked at this yet, so we're going to take a look at nice. It's very Sam Keith-like art inside of this one. I love it. I'm going to check it out. I can't wait. I hope that came in focus because I couldn't see what I was doing there. And the last 2 are going to be from Boom Studios. Power Rangers number 17. We're going to see what the Omega Rangers are doing after the Eltarian War. And finally, Basilisk number 8. Now this one they're doing some variant covers for this, but I'm just sticking with the main covers because they're just as awesome as the variants for it are. So Cullen Bunn has been doing a great job on that series. I'm just absolutely loving it. So that's it. That's what I got. We got this video in at around 20 minutes, even with me rambling on and on unnecessarily about the books that I picked up last week. But that said, thanks again for watching. If you're enjoying my videos, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button, share the video, all that fun stuff. And I will see everybody next week with another batch of comic books. I think my next week's pull list is not going to be that big. I'm going to pick up, I think, like 2 covers for the Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and my final issue of Robin, and I think maybe 1 or 2 more issues. I don't know. Then we'll see what else I can pick up. It might be something down there down at my LCS that, like Playthings and Rad Wraith. Just check out something because it's there. That's why you do these things. So anyway, everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy your new comics. At least here in Michigan, we're starting to get some nice weather. We're going to have a 70-degree day today. It's going to be awesome. So if you get a chance, get out there and enjoy that weather. Otherwise, enjoy your comic books. I'll see you later.